Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Our Whitney Ward joining us live from home tonight. Good evening, Whitney.
Good evening, Mark. Yeah, we begin tonight with Spokane County's application to enter into phase 2 of reopening. And if that application ends up being successful, it means things like restaurants, bars, camping, salons, even dog services could start reopening. And it also means that we could actually start gathering in small groups again. So a lot of people excited about that. Tonight, though, we want you to join in the conversation of this reopening process here in Washington. How would you rate it here in Eastern Washington? You can vote now on our KREM 2 mobile app or just go to our website at krem.com/vote. Okay, so if Spokane County is given the green light, then there will still be a lot of restrictions on local businesses. So for that, we are turning straight to Regina On, who is live in the KREM 2 newsroom right now. Regina?
Hey, Whitney, and now the CDC has a lot more extensive guidelines for how they should proceed. The document was actually posted on the CDC's website this weekend without any warning. The 60-page guidelines lays out a roadmap for reopening schools, businesses, restaurants and bars, youth programs and camps, childcare programs, and mass transit. The guidelines call for maintaining 6 feet of social distancing, regular hand washing, and protecting people who are the most vulnerable. The CDC also recommends restaurants install barriers, buses close some seats, and schools close playgrounds and encourage students to wear masks. Spokane County is urging people to wear those face coverings in indoor public places to curb the spread of coronavirus effective immediately. And the wearing of masks in places where physical distancing is difficult is strongly recommended but not enforceable. No fines or penalties will be issued for those who do not wear masks. The Spokane Regional Health District says people should wear face coverings in confined spaces such as stores or restaurants, but it's not necessary to wear a mask outdoors.
Some of those businesses will have expectations for customers when they walk through their doors. Many will require their patrons to wear masks. They'll have sanitizer at the front door. The restaurants will be sanitizing frequently throughout the day. So as you enter these businesses, just know that there will be some expectations from patrons, but all of those expectations and guidelines are to keep our community safe.
And that was Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward. She spoke with us this morning, and Woodward says county leaders are aiming to get the green light to move on to phase 2 by this Friday. Woodward says she understands there are some residents in the county who are not ready to resume public life yet. And earlier we asked you, how would you rate the reopening in Eastern Washington? And right now, a little less than half of you say it's going too slow, and the majority of you say it's just right or too fast. So thanks for voting on that. For now, live in the newsroom, Whitney, back to you.
Interesting how divided things are still. Thank you very much, Regina. In the meantime, the Washington Health Department is rapidly trying to get people trained so they can keep up with contact tracing.
If you do get a call from one of these teams and they ask you if you've been in contact with people, and then we contact those people, they don't know who gave them that information. So this remains private.
So as of yesterday, 723 National Guard personnel and 769 Department of Licensing personnel have been trained to help local health departments. Case investigations and contact tracing are key public health strategies to prevent the spread of this disease. So here's basically how it works. Public health staff would interview anyone who's tested positive for the virus to identify and then contact anyone who may have been exposed to them. The public's participation in this is strictly voluntary, but the process ensures that everyone who gets or is even exposed to this virus has access to information and services to protect themselves as well as their loved ones. So many businesses are preparing to legally reopen, but we also know that some people will not be headed right back to work. KREM 2's Shayna Waltower has more on that tonight.
Spokane County applying for phase 2 of Governor Inslee's plan means many businesses in the area could start to open up soon. Terry Kramer works at the Davenport Hotel as a banquet server, but with social distancing restrictions still in place, she's worried she could be one of the last of her coworkers to go back to work.
I don't foresee us doing any 500-person banquets anytime soon.
She's been in the business for 40 years, and like many other industries, it's the worst decline in business many workers have seen.
I didn't quite understand how I just didn't know how this was going to work.
On March 8th, Terry got the notice the Davenport was closing for the stay-home order.
I knew that our industry was going to get hurt from this.
That started 9 weeks of her applying for unemployment, but she kept getting denied because she hadn't worked enough hours to qualify.
It was a huge hiccup.
But the restrictions soon changed and allowed more people to qualify, so Terry finally got approved. While these extra funds have given her some comfort,
We just never realized that we were going to be in lockdown this long.
and the wait could be longer. Right now, the hotel is expecting to reopen on June 11th, but there won't be any large parties or events for Terry to serve. This means cooks and waiters will be going back before she will.
If there's an opportunity that allots me an opportunity to do one of those positions, I'm capable of doing one of those positions.
It's something she says she's willing to do to get back to work.
The restaurant workers, we want to get back to work. We can't wait. We just want to do it safely.
In Spokane, Shayna Walltower, KREM 2 News.
And Mark, also new tonight is an interesting new study out of Europe that suggests kind of an interesting approach to control these coronavirus infections.
It is interesting stuff, Whitney. It suggests an alternating cycle of 50 days of strict lockdown followed by 30 days of relaxing of restrictions. And it may be an effective strategy for keeping COVID-19 deaths down. Pressure is on right now to get people working again while preventing a second wave of the virus. That's where the study authors say their rolling model comes in. The researchers show these durations may have to vary based on what each country can handle. Costco now easing restrictions for the number of customers that can enter their stores. The retailer's website no longer limits how many people can enter per membership card. Previously, it was 2 people per card, but Costco's still requiring all customers wear a face mask in their stores. That does not apply to children under 2 years old or people with conditions that prevent them from wearing a mask. All right, check this out. For the 3rd day in a row, we are seeing a funnel cloud in the inland northwest. This one was spotted near Post Falls and Rathdrum today. Let's get straight to meteorologist Thomas Patrick filling in for Tom Sherry this week. And Thomas, the rain didn't really seem to end today, but will things dry out by Memorial Day?
Yeah, the rain is going to continue for the rest of the day. Yes, we will get that dry stretch before the holiday weekend. We just got to earn it for today. By the way, these funnel clouds seem to be just latching onto just a little bit of rotational energy known as helicity in the atmosphere, but usually they're non-dangerous. The rain usually comes and even washes them away. In fact, lots of rain to work with today. Though I will say downtown looking quite green outside, if I do say so myself. All thanks to that rain still flying out there. A little bit of a wind, but a bit of rain, if you will. And it's going to continue that way for several more hours. It's been light, it's been heavy at times, and there's even just a stray little thunderstorm over Ferry County at the moment. But some of the heavier rains are off in southeastern Washington between La Crosse, Dayton, and Pomeroy. In fact, some estimates are already over 2 inches of rain throughout the course of the day today. So still under a flood watch for southeastern Washington and parts of North Idaho. No warnings or advisories in these areas, but some higher river levels between Dayton and Walla Walla have been known. So that is the flood warning that you see there is for mostly river levels. More rain for the rest of the day today, drying out at least for a little bit tomorrow. So coming up, detailing how much more rain is in the forecast before it comes to an end and what the holiday weekend is looking like overall.
Talk to you then, Thomas. Thank you very much. While the Employment Security Department continues to process a backlog of thousands of claims, another threat is slowing them down, a wave of fraudulent claims. The department announced once again they're holding payments for up to 2 days because of all the fraud. KREM 2's Tim Pham spoke to a woman who found out someone tried to collect unemployment on her behalf while she was still at work.
Opening the mail is a part of Linda Desautel's daily routine at L&M Truck Sales, but this month she noticed several pieces of mail from the Employment Security Department.
So it kind of alerted me. I thought that was strange because we don't have very many employees here.
Not to mention the company is considered an essential business and everyone is still working, including her. The scammers made a claim to unemployment using her personal information.
It's frustrating because you feel like you're violated.
More than 1 million people have filed for unemployment in the state, and millions of dollars is being drained from the system by fraudulent claims since the pandemic began. Federal officials are investigating a sophisticated scheme reportedly based in Nigeria, and they are specifically targeting Washington state.
They usually look for the hardest hit state where there's the most happening, and Washington, as we know, is one of those.
The state says they're seeing a dramatic rise in incidents of imposter fraud. Spokane police says the scam has reached eastern Washington. They say identity theft reports to Crime Check are astonishing. In all of 2019, there were about 400 calls reporting stolen identity in Spokane County. And listen to this, in just the month of May alone, Crime Check received about 650 calls and counting.
Take all the steps right away. Don't wait. Make sure you follow through with everything because it will protect you. It will help in the long run.
Spokane police say the scammers already have too much of your information if the unemployment claim went through.
They have your birth date, your social security number, your address, your employer. They have everything they need to apply for a credit card, to open a bank account.
Identity theft, especially from overseas, is tough to prosecute. Spokane Police is working with the Attorney General's office and says the Secret Service is involved. Now it's a waiting game for Desitel to see if the scammers got away with any money.
That was Tim Pham reporting. Still ahead tonight, here at KREM, we have been giving the class of 2020 a big senior shout out, and today we continue to turn the spotlight, this time on Austin Tipton. He's a senior at Post Falls High School. Austin has played football since the 3rd grade and was the defensive lineman of the year. Congratulations to him. He plans on attending North Idaho College for diesel technology coming up this fall. So keep those submissions coming in. Graduation quickly approaching. Just text 2020 to 509-448-2000 and we'll send you a submission link.